Next, we are gonna, oh, this is an exciting one too. You guys are gonna love this. Remember I told you earlier that one of our org leaders, one of our awesome org leaders, Jennifer Cunningham, who was, I think she's #2 in sales so far this month, over $5,000 personal. And she told me that she tweaked some things and she made some changes and she was having huge results with what she tweaked and changed. And I want you to know what those results are. And I want you to know what she tweaked and changed so that you can do them too, right? So you can have the same huge results. So Jennifer, if you're there, my darling, I would love to have you start training. Let's see if we can find her.
I just unmuted. Did that help?
There you are. Yay. Okay. Take it away, sweetheart.
Okay. So anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all about this because I wanted to talk about following up because I've always kind of done some following up, in my parties and stuff, but I feel like I've been doing it a little more effectively the last few months. And I got really excited in November and December with some of the results that I had from it. So I just kind of wanted to take a minute and talk to y'all about it. When I first started like doing Tupperware, probably even before I was a manager, I started following up with people. And I had some wording that I'd written up and everything. And then I got really excited about it because I saw results from it and everything. But then when I met Jess, she shared with me her wording. And I was like, well, that's better than my wording. Can I use it? And of course, she was nice and she let me use it. And she shared it with all of us. And that's what I've been using like for the last few years. But then I think it might have been like the training for October month, I think. Kirsten told us some wording for booking parties also in your from current parties that you have. So I actually started using both of these as my follow-up things together, and they were working so well using both of them together that I was seeing like so many more results. Like at the beginning of November, I kind of felt like I didn't have as many parties as I would like, and I was like, I need more parties. So I went back. We had some wording going around for helping with getting bookings from your customer group. So I started there and I got some more bookings, and then I started really focusing on following up, and I just started like booking parties off of parties like crazy, and I was really excited about it, and I wanted to tell you all about it. So I will start by telling y'all the wording real quickly, which I know y'all have heard it before, but I'll go ahead and tell it for those maybe who are new who haven't heard it before. And I will also say, this is wording that I don't, whether you're doing a party where it's all manual orders or you had a couple Tupper Connect orders, either way, you should be sending follow-up messages. In fact, if you've done any Tupper Connecting, I think that's where people fail a lot, is that they don't send the follow-up messages sometimes because it's like, well, they just got on and ordered, and I didn't ever talk to them. Well, that's even more reason to talk to them. Okay. So you can use this either way. So like if I am, usually the first thing I do is I go and I message every single person who ordered something. So if it's a manual order, I check in with them. Monday morning is my follow-up day. I check in on them. I just like message them and say, good morning. I was just checking to see if you were ready for your invoice or if you'd like a little longer to browse. That's a nice way of asking them without like, sounding like you're trying to get them to order more. You're just checking in, because sometimes people will just start sending invoices, and some people will say, oh, wait, I wanted to add more. But some people, they think, well, it's a deadline. This is it. I just need to pay and go. And you might miss a couple of sales if you don't just check in with them first. So I check in with them. And let's see. So the first thing I do is I send them this message that Kirsten gave us, and this has been working really, really well for me. I actually wait until I've sent them their invoice and they've actually paid for their invoice, because what I've kind of found is people don't want to think about more than one thing at once. Like when we're working on their invoice, they're focused on ordering. And if I talk to them right then, it's like, no, I don't want to do anything. But and used to after they paid, I'd just say, "Well, thank you so much," and that was it. But I've actually started sending them, "Thank you so much. Any chance I can twist your arm into booking a party off of Brenda? She only needs 2 more parties booked off of hers to earn exclusive rewards. I'll even throw in a prize in the mail for you as a thank you." Or you can say add a prize to their order. You can do either one. Um, if it was a Tupper Connect order, um, or if it was an order that you invoiced them early on in the party and you forgot to follow up with them right then, you can change it just a little bit and just say, "Thank you so much for ordering from so and so's party," and then go into that exact same wording. I do that first because then when I'm checking in with the other people, I'm not sending them the other follow up message to see if they want to, see the links or do whatever. Because sometimes then you get, somebody who's like, "Well, I already ordered. You don't remember that I ordered." You don't want to like insult them that you didn't remember that they'd already done it or something, or accidentally send it to them. So let me find this one. So this one, it's basically the wording that Jess gave us. I don't remember if I changed it any or not, but this is what I have. It's like, "Hi, thank you so much for joining Samantha's party or Tupperware party. Her party is available to order from, or still available to order from, but we hope to close it soon." And I asked if they would like to see the catalog link. Um, and then, it goes into she can earn free and half off Tupperware. Any order, big or small, helps. Y'all know that wording, okay? And we can post it later if y'all need it. But what I found sometimes is when people tell me that they're having trouble with their party sales, or they tell me that they have parties right now, but they don't have good sales, and they haven't booked any parties, and they just don't know what to do. I start like checking in with them, seeing if they've done follow-ups. And sometimes they'll tell me, "Yes, I followed up." But then when you really like dig in deep, you find out they're not doing it as effectively as they could. Like they send this message, which references the booking a party, and some people will book off of that message. But a lot of times they're in that shopping mode. They're not exactly in that booking a party mode. And so if somebody that I sent that message to then orders, I then send them Kirsten's message again because I didn't actually ask them in that message. I just referenced booking a party in that message. Um, the one that Kirsten gave us about twisting your arm, that one you're actually asking them. And so I wanted to kind of tell y'all. Well, and then also too, I have people that tell me, "Well, I only asked the people that I thought were interested, that like participated in the party, or they said on their order form they weren't interested." Guys, on an order form, so many people put down no because they're not thinking about that right now. They just want to get their order in. Okay. I've had ladies that put down no, they don't want to join the team, and then like a few minutes later, they're asking me, "What is a personal shopper?" you know, they say no on the form because no is easy. I don't want to get bugged right now. I'm still thinking about it. Maybe it's in the back of my mind, but I'm going to put down no on my form. So it doesn't hurt to like give them some time. Like you're planting little seeds. Like Stephanie was talking about, saying you could get that half off, with a party. You're planting little seeds, but then towards the end, you're actually asking them, just coming out right and asking them. And people book for different reasons too, because some people are going to book because of the half off, but some of them don't care about that. But if you tell them your friend is like one party order away from what she wants, oh yeah, I'll book a party. I had a lady in November who she really didn't participate in the party at all. She ordered, but that was it. And if I was just asking people who I thought might be interested, I wouldn't have asked her because she didn't participate in the party at all. But I asked her at the end, and it was like, she was like, "Well, this is my niece and I'd like to help her." So, yes. And you know what? That lady ended up having a $1,200 party with, I think it was 4 party bookings off of her. And that was somebody that I would not have asked had I been just only asking people that I thought were interested. So I'm going to tell y'all kind of some of the results that I had just
Really
because
get me angry.
somebody's on here. Just some of the results that I had because I thought they were really exciting, and I just kind of wanted to tell y'all a little bit more about it. So I guess it was like I said, in November, I really started working on this and I started seeing a lot of really good results. So, the very beginning of December, I hadn't booked quite as many parties, just because I guess the day after Thanksgiving, I started parties and I didn't want quite so many then. So I had 3 parties starting right after Thanksgiving. And I I just started those 3 parties. I was working on, the 12 days of Christmas. I had 7 parties coming up the next week. And it was an interesting, interesting first week because there the guys at Aaron Station, they had all been sick and they were sharing their germs with everybody, and I got really sick, and I did not want to do any of it. Like I didn't want to do anything because I felt like crap. So follow up day came and it left, and I didn't follow up with anybody in these 3 parties. These 3 parties, it was like there were 2 parties that were just barely, I thought we might barely scrape 200. There was one party that I thought we might barely scrape 300. Okay. And I didn't do follow up day because I was just like, I just want to go to bed and sleep. I felt awful. I don't want to do this. And so I didn't do it that day. And I don't remember it was the day after or the day after that. I finally just was like, okay, I'm going to do it, and see if we can get these hooks, we can get them a little bit farther along. So, not counting any of the orders that we had before follow up day, not counting any of the orders that came in after or bookings or anything, just that one day from 3 parties that I had going on that moment. Just that day alone, we had 5 new bookings for 5 new parties and around $1,000 in sales that we didn't have before, just from following up with people. And guys, I came like this close, not didn't feel good. This close. And there's times like we just get busy, or maybe we're sick or whatever, and we think, well, these parties have been so slow. Nobody's participating. Nobody's interested. And what I found out is, especially like in November and December, everybody is so busy. Like they want to shop, they want to buy things, but they they're too busy to remember to do it sometimes. Like I messaged one lady, followed up with her, and she said, oh goodness, I forgot I was going to order something. She ordered $700 worth of Tupperware, just herself. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness. It's one of those where you're almost nervous. It's such a big order. But and not just that, there was a girl in one of those parties who booked, who she already told me no to a party, but I thought, well, I'm going to ask her one more time. I'm going to use that wording because her host is like this close to what she wants. And I let her know that. And she was like, sure, I'll try. But my friends, they just don't. She's like, I have friends that just, they don't ever, she said, my parties are always a flop. So we did hers the next week. And she ended up, because of follow up orders and 5 parties booked off of just her party from asking her friends. And it was funny because before follow up day, we had one booking, and I so close to this reward you've been wanting. And I was, I said, if we don't get it, I said, I'm going to message people today and I'm going to try to get you that extra booking. But if we don't, sometimes a host will, book a party so that, a little farther out so she can get what she wants. And we were both like ready to do that. And then I started posting the thank yous for booking parties. And she messages me and she's like, well, that escalated quickly because it's like, boom, boom, boom. And I was, like I said, I will post the wording. I think Kirsten's already posted it, but I'm sure we can post it like in the actual recordings of this later, because that, can I twist your arm into booking a party? It's one of the reasons I really love that wording too, is it's really easy to just kind of slip it into conversation. Like you're already talking to somebody and you can just kind of slip it right in there. And it's just some really good results. Now, are you always going to have like crazy results from it? No. I mean, out of the 7 parties I had that next week, there were 2 that even responded. Like they were just nothing much going on. but the others, I mean, it helped them tremendously and helped my party calendar tremendously. But I wanted to put a little bug in your ear, okay? Something I want you to remember and something I want you to say to yourself next time that you're like me and you're like this close away from not doing follow up day. And that is, if you knew that by doing follow up day, you would have 5 new parties and $1,000 a day from doing follow up day, would you do it? I think you would. um, Let me check my notes real quick and make sure. Oh yeah, one more thing that I was going to say about doing follow up day is it's really important for um, forward, because um, sometimes I'll check with people, how they're booking parties, and they'll tell me, well, I posted a post in my customer group. That's good. That's awesome. But you also need to be messaging people. You need to be talking to them, because I can post something in my customer group and I might get 1 or 2 parties, multiple parties. Plus, if you're always coming back to the same people over and over again, kind of like a cow chewing its own cud, you need to go find some new grass, guys. You need to go find some new people, because you can't just keep doing it with the same people over and over again. I mean, it's awesome to have hosts who book parties over and over again. I have some that they're like, well, as soon as their party's over, they're like, let's book another one 3 months out because this was fun. But you can't constantly be just going back to the same people. You have to be booking new parties. There was a party that I booked, I think 3 months. There was this lady that I actually met her doing online games. That's how I met her. We didn't really even know each other that well, but we became Facebook friends because of something about the game. If you're Facebook friends, you can borrow stuff on the game or something like that. And I needed a party, and I asked her, she's in New York, and I asked her if she would book a party. She's like, sure. Guys, I'm still booking parties. Like, I still have parties that I see them like in New York in that same town. They originated from that party when I've been selling like 3 months, and I've been selling for around 3 years now. I'm still booking parties from that one. I'm still getting recruits from that one because I was booking parties off of parties. And that's how you keep your business going. We all have slumps where we need to go ask people, but once you really, really focus on the following up, because you could have that day where you really, really follow up and you got all these parties all of a sudden. It's why when I look at my calendar, I don't really 3 weeks from now that maybe there's not as many parties. I don't really worry about that. I worry, I'm going to book for this week. I'm going to book for next week. I'm going to book for now, because I know from those parties, now, I'm always taking care of now. And I've always got parties going. I don't want to book like, way, way out here. I want to book like for this week and next week, and I'm trying to remember if there was one other thing that happens sometimes. I think I covered most of it, but I did want to remind y'all, just remember to ask yourself that next time you say, I don't want to do follow-up day. What if that's your day to get that many parties, to get 5 new parties and $1,000 in order in one day? That can make a huge month for you. Like, that can change your entire month around. So I think that's everything that I was going to say.
Great job, Jennifer. Didn't she do a great job training?
Yay.
She's a great trainer. Like I just said, you guys, of course, my husband starts the blender. Could you maybe turn that off for a minute, please? Starts it right when I start talking, of course. She's a great trainer. Like I just said, I was on a meeting yesterday, and the training that you guys get from our people is like 1,000% better than any of this training that I saw in the regional from other. You guys just have like the best leaders, and I love that they share, and I love that they share with their heart. And that, I mean, she's exactly right. I mean, so much of this, I always say the fortune is in the follow-up, right? I mean, you can take the order and say, yeah, and that's it, or you can keep going and ask more questions. And I always say, start at the top of the hill too. Like start up here. It's ask them to join your team, right? Come down the hill if they say no. Okay, have a party. Come down the hill if they say no to that. Then, can I take your order? But like start with the hard question and keep going. And I mean, you're gonna get yeses that you didn't know existed. One of my favorite things to say. One time I was at a Tupperware party and I don't know, I was just feeling, I think I was tired. I don't even, if we're being honest, and I was feeling a little snarky. And I always talked about how, one out of 10 people in direct sales in the United States, 1 out of 10 people join some form of direct sales or something in the United States. And I think the number is actually more like 1 out of 7, but at the time it was 1 out of 10. And I said I always say that tells me that at least one of the people at almost every party is somewhat interested in joining my team. And this particular night, I said, because I was just feeling it, I said, so, that tells me that at least one person here in this room is somewhat interested. My job is just trying to figure out which one of you it is. And I said, you could just make my job easier and raise your hand if you'd like. And one of the girls was like, okay, I'll just raise my hand. It's me. And I was like, oh, wow, I should say that every time. Like I was just I was just feeling a little snarky and I was like, just raise your hand if it's you, But I think that sometimes we make it hard or we make it this big thing or whatever. And maybe that's more, that's a post you could totally do on your Facebook parties really easily is, hey, I think it's 1 out of 7. So I'd go with 1 out of 7. 1 out of 7 people in the United States join some sort of direct sales type business. That tells me that at every party I hold, there's at least one of you that's somewhat interested. My job is just to figure out which one of you that it is and give you the information, and you can decide if this is right for you. Let me know if you're that person. You think about that post right there. That might be mind blowing on your Facebook parties. Okay. I don't know why I never thought of telling you to do that till right this moment, but sometimes when I hear the right thing, then something else just comes out of my mouth. So I totally did that at home parties all the time. But I think that we make this big deal of asking and all this, and I'm not saying you don't follow up, just like Jennifer, I can't put that in the comments because it just came out of my mouth. So somebody will have to go back and rewatch the recording and type it up because it just came out. That's what happens. But I think that sometimes we make this big deal of it, and I think you should still always follow up and ask again or whatever. But I think what Stephanie was saying, it takes 6 or 7 touches. Like they don't necessarily respond the first time. So somebody might respond right there, bam, just like that. And then somebody else might take another time to listen, or we sprinkle it in over here that, oh, as a consultant, you get this discount. And then over here, we sprinkle that as a consultant, you can earn this set for free in our Confident Start program, or this, Smart Multi-Cooker, or whatever the thing is, for free. And then if we sprinkle it here and there, you can buy it. I always say there's 3 ways to get this. You can get it, full price. You can get it free or half price as a host, or you can earn it or get it in the Confident Start program, for free as a consultant, or buy it, with wholesale discounting. There's always multiple different ways that you can get something. And I think the more you sprinkle that into your demo, even if it's in words on a post, the more that people start thinking about it. And then you throw out there, and I wouldn't throw that 1 out of 10 thing until at least the middle of the party, because if you come at them out the gate with that, it might make somebody go, I came here to see Tupperware, and all I'm doing is they're trying to recruit me. It's a good thing to do is to stop in the middle of the party and do that, because they've already started hearing about product and now they might be kind of interested. And then they can maybe, if they don't say, yes, I'm the person, they might start watching you differently at the party to see if maybe they could do this as the party's going on. So anyway, just something interesting to kind of throw out there, that might be a really good Facebook party post. One of you that loves to listen to all my words can type up what I just said. We'll make a Facebook party post of it. Maybe Chrissy heard me and is already designing some fantastic posts for us. I know she's on here because I've seen Chrissy on here today. So anyway, so it's time for, we're going to stop this recording.